Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and I promised we would do a video talking about the state of the live arena. Now that it is officially out and it is in game, we can kind of react to it and talk about some of the gripes that people in the community have, and maybe some ideas that Plarium could do to alleviate some of these gripes, and just give you my general thoughts on the state of things and problems that I predicted would probably be a problem and are kind of ending up being a little bit of an issue, and some things that need to be adjusted for live arena to be as good as possible here as we round out the biggest addition to Raid in 2023. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so I don't really need to do a whole lot of rehashing about Live Arena. I'm sure all of you know what it is. If you're super new to Raid, this is the second iteration of PvP they've added to this map. When Raid was released, it was just the classic arena that you see on the far left, and then they added the tag team arena probably about a year and a half or two after Raid's release, and then now they're adding another iteration of the arena in the live arena, and this is the first time that people are able to go up against each other live instead of just battling someone's AI defense. And there's going to be some big issues that arise in the live arena, and one of them was super easy to predict. I talked about how this was going to be a problem, and it's in this battle phase. You can see that it says each live arena battle can be a maximum of 30 minutes in length. First of all, that's way too long. Second of all, with both players being credited a loss if the battle does not conclude in 30 minutes, that's another problem. And those two things compiling against each other bring on certain things, like we're seeing people. I'll go over a post here in a little bit, and we'll talk about different discussions happening in the Raid community. But basically, you're gonna get people that can just sit there and troll and do nothing but put Nekarit, Duchess, Marichka, and a bunch of defensive champions. They have no interest in winning or doing any damage. They just want to survive for 30 minutes and troll you. I heard Asmongold, the famous like World of Warcraft streamer, variety streamer, call these people fun vultures in games. Like, they're not there to have fun. They get enjoyment out of making sure that you're not having fun, and he called them fun vultures, and I thought that was a really good term in gaming. And these people exist in all sorts of different areas where they just want to go into the live arena and troll, and they get a kick out of knowing that you're forced to sit there for 30 minutes and there's nothing you can do, and then you're gonna get a loss, and they don't care that they got a loss. They just enjoy trolling in the live arena. And I think this would be really easy to mitigate. You just have some sort of tiebreaker. There needs to be some sort of tiebreaker to stop this mentality from happening, because it is exceedingly painful to play something for 30 minutes and draw or tie, or even worse, get a loss. I mean, this happens in I play a lot of Overwatch as well, and it's just brutal when you're doing these maps like 2CP back in the day, and you fight back and forth in a super close game for 25 minutes, and then it just ends in a draw, and you're like, well, I'm glad I wasted my time with that, and then you just don't even want to play anymore. So I really, maybe people disagree with me, and that's fine. You can let me know down below if you disagree with me. I don't think there should be draws in competitive gaming. I think there should always be some sort of tiebreaker to incentivize some sort of winning mechanic and the pursuit of winning in a match. And there's a few different ways they could go about accomplishing this. You know how you see in fighting, like in boxing or something, or UFC, if a match is super close and neither person can knock the other person out or something, they give bonus points. They give the tiebreaker, if you will, to the aggressor, to the person that is controlling the center of the ring, to the person that's coming forward, to the person that is trying to win. They get rewarded by the judges, and they will kind of get the edge in a super close tie bout. They will give an advantage to the aggressor. So Plarium could do something similar to that in Raid. They could do something where they give bonus points to the amount of kills and the amount of damage that someone does. So like if somebody just runs a team of 3 revivers with Pythion, Arbiter, and Duchess or something, and they just sit there and they revive people 100 times, well, they could have a tiebreaker be how many kills did you get during the fight, or how much damage did you inflict during the fight. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I would have to really sit down with a team and plan it and acquire some feedback, but there's definitely ways that they could like mitigate how many ties are going to be occurring and have some sort of tiebreaker to crown a winner, and that would have a side effect of nullifying some of the incentive to just sit here and troll for 30 minutes, because then you would just lose, and it's like, well, that was fun. And the person that was getting trolled by having to take 30 minutes to kill you, at least they would have the mentality of like, okay, screw them, but at least I got the win, so whatever. But there's also this mechanic right here where it says each live arena battle can be a maximum of 30 minutes in length. That's just insanely long. Like, that should probably be 10 or 15 minutes, honestly. It's just too long of time for one battle in a friggin' raid 4v4 arena match. And there's a few different ways they could go about mitigating that. You see games like Clash Royale, the mobile game where you destroy towers back and forth and stuff like that. After it gets to a certain point in overtime, the tiebreaker is all of the towers lose hit points until there's only, or until somebody loses a tower, and then that breaks the tie. But I don't know if you could do something like that in Raid, because that would further incentivize the super tanky trolling teams. Like, if they did a system where you just start losing 10% HP every turn, like 10% max HP gets destroyed every turn, that would like further give a bonus to the super tanky teams that aren't trying to do damage. They would just sit there and outlast the team that has like DPS characters that start dying and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I guess if it's based on a percentage, it really wouldn't. It would be like if you lose 10% of your HP every turn, if somebody has 100,000 HP versus 10,000 HP, they would lose that flat 10% no matter what. So I guess maybe something like that could work now that I think about it, but it would have to be something really explored and tested, that's for sure. But then in the community, you get rants like this on Reddit that has a fair amount of upvotes and comments where it says, you know, to those who purposely use the entire timer from the selection process and all of the way to the end of the battle, screw you. And what they're referring to is like during the picking and banning process, you get like a minute to pick what champion you want to use and who you want to ban on their team, and they wait until like 2 or 3 seconds every single time before they do anything, so it makes that process take forever. And then during the match, they wait for the whole timer. I think you get like, I mean, I always play super fast, but I think you get like 20 seconds before you have to do something in the live arena, and they wait like 18 or 19 seconds before they click the button every single time to try and just troll you and make it take as absolutely long as possible. And like, maybe their goal is to just make you miserable to the point where you say, screw this, I don't want to sit here for 30 minutes, I'm out, I'll just play against someone else. And you can see they're saying just having a team that's hard to kill is one thing, but you have to be a real piece of trash to waste someone's time trying to drag out the battle via the timer. I have one in mind that I really want to plaster all over this freaking sub, but I don't want, I don't have time for these mods coming after me. One thing I cannot stand is a bum, and that's what these types of players are. So, I mean, yeah, kind of a hot take, but what it is being frustrated with people, in their opinion, taking too long to play. And I thought a good way to mitigate this, or a good way to go about this, would be just have, like in speed chess, where they put like 5 minutes on the clock, and each person gets 5 minutes to think. You can move instantly, or you can take 30 seconds to think about your move. It's your choice, but once your thinking time bank and your 5 minutes is up, you lose and the match is over. And they could do something similar in the Raid live arena. They could just put 5 minutes on the clock, and then like once you have used up all of your 5 minutes and you're playing a lot slower than your opponent, the match is over and you lose. And that would really incentivize people being smart about how long they're thinking and how long they're taking to act, and it would incentivize faster play, but it would still give you an ample amount of time to think. I mean, 5 minutes, if you're doing a turn like for an average of 10 seconds, that would be cycling through your entire team like 7 to 10 times or something, and you have a pretty good feel for who's gonna win by that point in time. And also, if you put it on auto, it should pause your thinking timer. So like, you're thinking for the first few, and then if you put it on auto once you've got an advantage or whatever, now your thinking timer will stop counting and all that. So like again, I'm just doing a fun video here talking about the state of the live arena and talking about some ideas, but you know, some of these things could definitely be addressed very easily to at least make the live arena better. And it's not shocking that you're gonna have issues when something like this is first added to the game, a brand new PvP mechanic. It's gonna take a little bit of time to gather feedback and see what's good, what's bad, and make adjustments as we move forward. But none of that is even the biggest problem with the live arena, in my opinion. I've been harping on this since the very beginning of live arena kind of being announced. I was like, If Plarium doesn't give us a way to host custom matches or to observe matches or something like that, it's going to be a complete unmitigated disaster. It was like the easiest home run for Plarium to hit, and they just won't do it. It's tossing a softball to the plate and they just won't even swing at it. So I don't understand, because like, imagine how hype it would be if you and your clan could organize something on Discord and have like a live arena tournament where it's just you and your clan mates, and you put up like a $20 gift card or something and just hang out in Discord and play live arena against each other and talk strategies. Or you and your friends want to test a couple champions or test a new build, so you just jump into a custom match and play against each other for a little bit. Or I could host like a content creator tournament, or I could host like a community beginners tournament only, where it's like only people under 1 million account power, and I could host like a newbie tournament and give them a chance to compete in something for fun and be part of a video. Like the possibility, I could literally talk for an hour straight. Like the possibilities are endless if they would give us a custom way to host and observe matches. It would be, that would really take Raid to the next level in terms of the year of PvP. But alas, we don't have it yet, and there's definitely some issues that need to be ironed out with Live Arena besides just that. But gosh, that would be so amazing and so epic if they would give us the capability to do some custom matchmaking and observing. And I also want to talk about this, shout out to the almost 5,000 of you that voted over on the community tab. It really helps me produce better content and get a pulse of how the community is feeling on different things. So I definitely appreciate all of you that subscribe and follow the community tab and vote on polls and all of that. So I did ask, what is your first impression of the live arena after it was live for a little bit, to kind of just see how the community is feeling. And we had, it's amazing, it's an overall good addition to the game, meh, don't really care, and it's complete trash as the 4 choices. And it looks like so far the community is mostly in the middle. You've got the like 80 something % of people that are either saying it's an overall net positive good addition to the game, or meh, don't really care so far. And then you had 18% of people on the polar opposites, where they're saying either it's amazing, it's incredible, and this is an awesome thing that's come to Raid, or it's complete trash and I wish they really never added it at all. And that one's 13% versus 5. So there is like more than double people that feel like the live arena is complete trash versus it being amazing, which isn't surprising because there's a lot more like free-to-play players than there are whales. And that's not really surprising at all, because there's a lot more free-to-play beginner type players than there are whales, and those kind of players that are trending towards the free-to-play beginner side are probably going to have a lot worse of an experience in the live arena than someone like a whale. But this will probably get better over time as the leagues spread out a little bit, and it's not so much of a cluster mess with everybody just kind of starting and being ranked at the same tier. You'll get those whales that move up all the way into those higher tiers, gold 4 and all that, and then you'll have the newbies and beginners that can fight down in bronze and get some more fair matches instead of people that are level 48 playing against level 100 maxed out accounts once everything kind of spreads out. So yeah, so far that's kind of the state of the live arena as I see it, at least. And some of this stuff was very easy to predict, some of these issues that are happening, and hopefully Plarium is receptive to feedback and going to be adjusting the live arena as we go forward, because I think it does have the potential to be a very good addition to the game and help Raid kind of sustain some life into 2024 and maintain its status as a top level gacha game in the industry for a while, if they can get the live arena right and make it fun for most players. But let me know what you think down below, and remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Peace.